And now from our studios in downtown Winnipeg, it's time for 107 Live.
And welcome to the holiday edition of Classic 107 Live on this Tuesday, December 11th. My name is Michael Wolch, your host, and I welcome into the studio this morning two artists. It's kind of a multicultural affair. We've got Marco Castillo, who hails from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He's made his home in Winnipeg for a number of years, I believe for probably about 12 years already. And from Argentina, from Buenos Aires, Argentina, we have Onna Lou, who fuses her sort of Latin pop rock, Argentinian folk music. So we're going to have a lot of fun this morning. So welcome to you both into the studio.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
All right. Marco, welcome back, I should say. You've been here one or two times at least before.
Exactly.
And Onna Lou, this is your first time, so thank you so much for coming in this morning. Before we have a conversation, I'd like to hear some music, and we're going to start with Onna Lou. She's going to sing us an original song. Tell us quickly about this song.
Yes, this is a song from my next album. It's called ¿Qué hiciste con mi querer?, which means what have you done with my love? And it's about when a relationship ends and you're left wondering, asking the other person, what happened? What have you done with everything I gave? So here it goes.
Okay, here's Onna Lou.
Con tu primera mirada, como si fuera un hechizo, sin mi permiso me desarmaste, me dejaste embrujada. Es que hay amores que arrasan con todo, así me arrasó tu amor. Y ahora quiero saber qué hiciste con mi querer. Decime a dónde pusiste los miles de besos que gasté. Yo creo que andando cambiaste y que te olvidaste lo que era querer. No te enamores, dijiste. Mira, el que avisa no traiciona. Pero traidora fue tu sonrisa, cometió el más perfecto crimen de enamorarme para perderte después. Y ahora quiero saber qué hiciste con mi querer. Decime a dónde pusiste los miles de besos que gasté. Yo creo que andando cambiaste y que te olvidaste lo que era querer. Resentimiento no guardo, no estés tan sorprendido. Si no es conmigo, será con otra, que estés de nuevo vacío. Están tan fríos tus ojos que hoy olvidan nuestro ayer. Y ahora quiero saber qué hiciste con mi querer. Decime a dónde pusiste los miles de besos que gasté. Yo creo que andando cambiaste y que te olvidaste lo que era querer. Si yo creo que andando cambiaste y que te olvidaste lo que era, te olvidaste lo que era, te olvidaste lo que era querer.
Onna Lou, and that's a song from her forthcoming CD, which will be coming out in the next little while. I don't know exact. Do you know exact when it's coming out?
Hopefully by the second half, kind of end of next year.
Okay. Yep. All right. So you're still working on it, but that sounds a great song. So but we're going to have Onna Lou, get you moving a little bit closer to the mic, and we can talk a little bit before we bring Marco into the picture. So how long have you been in Winnipeg for?
I moved here a little over 2 years and a half ago.
Ah, okay. So
Yes.
not that long ago. And you were
No.
coming from, you were you were down in the States before that, correct?
Yes, I'm from Buenos Aires, but I lived in Boston for 3 years before coming here.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of experienced the cold a little bit there,
Mm-hmm.
getting used to it. And then, yes, we moved here. I moved here with my husband, who I work with in my music.
So you were at Berkeley? Were you at Berkeley
Yeah, Berkeley
College of Music?
An amazing place, amazing experience. I couldn't think of a better place for a musician to grow and learn. So I was fortunate enough to be able to go there.
So before you moved to Boston, tell us a little bit about your upbringing in Buenos Aires. A musical background? You come from a family of musicians,
No,
or
okay, my dad is a lawyer, but he's a guitar player too, and he plays folk Argentinian music. He knows so many pieces that nobody knows. So I grew up listening to him and to my mom sing. My mom sings. She's an amazing singer, but she never did it professionally, unfortunately. But I grew up listening to her, and she's a big inspiration for me. I hope I'll be as good as her someday.
Oh, wow.
She's amazing. But other than that, like, it wasn't like a musical upbringing. I did guitar lessons when I was 5 and 6 years old, and I loved it. But then I didn't do anything else. I was the fourth child of 5, so there wasn't money for the fourth one to take more music lessons. So I took up guitar again when I was 16, and then I went to high school, and then I went to law school and to politics school. And then only then, when I was 20, I went to music school, and I studied classical composition first. I got a degree for that. And then I moved to Boston because I wanted to write songs and to perform, and that's what fuels my soul. So
what was your focus in Boston at Berkeley? What was your what style or?
My focus was songwriting and performance, but the major I did is called contemporary writing and production, which also gave me a lot of tools to produce tracks, which is so important nowadays. Like the songwriter and his computer is your other instrument. We use it for everything. So yeah, that was the major I did. But
And
I studied a lot of songwriting and performing.
And while you were at Berkeley, you had a chance to meet some pretty big names in the Latin music industry, for sure. Not just in the Latin, but other things. But
it was amazing. Yeah, I would say like my 2 or 3 main experiences was working for Alejandro Sanz, who is a big, huge, astronomical star in the Latin American music. Well, he's from Spain. And I could produce a video for him, which then resulted in me going to the Latin Grammys with him and performing on stage with him, which was just an amazing experience. And then I also met Rosana, who is also a Spanish artist, and she was a huge influence when I was a teenager. I used to sing the songs, all her songs from her first album on the streets with my friends, and I just love her. And then I ended up singing duo with her in New York at her show. So that was unforgettable. And then working with producer Javier Limón, who is an amazing artist, and he's worked with some of the biggest names on the music industry, and he's been a great teacher and a great influence for me. I started flamenco with him too, which is something that I'm doing now also here. So yeah.
Okay, well, maybe we'll get to hear a bit more of that at some point as well, some of your classical background or some of your flamenco background. I won't put it on you today. It's too early in the morning. So
yeah, please don't.
Please don't. Well, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio this morning. It's Onna Lou. We're talking just about her. Just before we pass the microphone over to Marco, do you have any concerts coming up in the next little while?
Well, I'm pretty advanced on my pregnancy, my first child, so no, I had a couple big concerts in the last couple of months.
Yep.
Now in January until mid-February, I just have some like small performances here and there around the city, which you can always find on my website. Yeah.
Okay.
But no big shows, I guess.
No big shows.
Yeah.
No. Well, one big show in March.
Yeah, the biggest one.
The biggest show in March when you give birth. All right, thank you, Onna Lou. So Marco, let's chat for a little minute before you're going to play us out with a song. So. You know, I was chatting with Onna Lou for a second, and there's quite a few like there's a big contingency of Argentinians in town. I've got a lot of good friends who are Argentinian. Marco, you're still probably there's not a huge still contingency of Brazilians in town, are there?
Well,
maybe more and more over the last few
the
years.
Brazilian community has grown a little bit.
Grown?
Yeah, this last year. That actually we vote for the first time. We have a poll here to vote for president. I'm not going to. Please don't. We're not going into politics, but yeah, for the it's kind of growing, like, slow and steady. Yes.
What about Brazilian music?
Well, Brazilian music still that's my heart, right? Like I'm very fortunate and lucky, to be like a 24/7 musician. I still getting the question, but what do you do? Like, what's your work? 'Cause I'm a musician.
What's my work?
Yeah, what's like people? But I still teach. I have my students.
Yeah.
And I have my performance, and I've been doing the last 3 years. I'm touring across Canada through the home routes, which is being like a wonderful experience. You know, it's a super nice environment and people, and so. Music, Brazilian music is in my heart and my blood. It's like I can't get rid of.
Don't get rid of it.
Not that I want.
Don't get rid of it.
It's just in there on the DNA.
And you've got some steady gigs you do throughout the weeks too, right?
Yes, exactly. You know, this last Sunday I was actually subbing for my friend Lou at the Hermanos on Valentine, which I play every Friday. And I play Saturdays now at the other location. They have a new location on Osborne Street across the Park Theater. And last Sunday I was playing at the Palm Lounge because I'm on that loop as well. You can always find exactly what days I'm playing on my website, of course. But and Noel was there, and so we're talking with him. Noel is the mentor. Him and Najara was the ones who opened the Hermanos and the Carnival and the pizzeria. A lot of business related, and they're being very supportive on Latin music. So I'm very lucky having those steady gigs. I mean, it's kind of really good to have, right? So when I'm not there, I'm playing other concerts or things. Yeah, I have I have those gigs you can find on the website, but I would like to ask people to ask people what I'm saying. I think I'm still waking up. But I have this concert at the CCFM, the Mardi Jazz, April the 30th.
Okay.
Last Tuesday at the CCFM, which is always nice to play in there. I'm playing pretty much every year. And I'm looking forward to it because it's a very nice gig. I mean, I have as people go there to listen to you, and it's very cool.
So let me ask you, you see, obviously, Brazilian music runs through your blood, runs through your DNA. How has living in Winnipeg influenced your music?
Well, yeah, that's the second time you put this question. But, it's interesting because, of course, we start to absorb, the culture and the way of life in Canada, in Winnipeg, and it has been influenced, in a way of how can I say? It's more I have to put that, but it's more like a political view, like a society, the structure of society, and because again, I'm always what happens in Brazil now is a disaster, right? And in terms of politics, and then it's not only in Brazil, of course, but and I'm still liking very much how Winnipeg. It's such it's like a bubble. Everything is happening out there, and here we still I still having that feeling that we are safe here, right? Of course, there's big things that we have always to look at and still aware, but still feeling a wonderful environment, a lot of support and I'm I got used to the seasons. I think it's a wonderful thing that we have to really appreciate. I mean, I'm looking forward to December 21st because that's the point. And when it started, heading again for the longer days, and that's kind of it's beautiful. I still love that, and it's kind of influenced yourself as a human, right? As on your environment, on your society, on your circle, right, family and stuff, and it's nice.
Okay, Marco Castillo, I'm in conversation with him, and he's going to sing us a song now. So what do you got? What'd you line up this morning?
I was, I could sing one of my originals, but I decided to sing this song by Gilberto Gil called A Paz, which means peace, because I think it's always good to think about peace, I guess, right? It's a bossa nova feel, so yeah. A paz invadiu meu coração, de repente me encheu de paz, como se o vento de um tufão arrancasse os meus pés do chão, onde eu já não me enterro mais. A paz fez do mar a revolução, invadir meu destino. A paz, como aquela grande explosão de uma bomba sobre o Japão, fez nascer um Japão na paz. Eu pensei em mim, eu pensei em ti e chorei por nós. Que contradição só a guerra faz, nosso amor em paz. Eu vim parar na beira do cais, onde a estrada chegou ao fim, onde o fim da tarde é lilás, onde o mar arrebenta em mim o lamento de tantos ais. A paz.
A Song to Peace by Gilberto Gil.
No, Gilberto Gil, exactly.
Gilberto Gil. No, I wasn't saying you're Gilberto Gil. Marco Castillo singing a Gilberto Gil song to peace. So
Yeah.
thank you, Marco, for that beautiful song.
Thank you,
And,
Michael, for having us. Yeah.
Thank you to Onna Lou as well. And, well, best of luck in the new year. It's going to be an exciting new year, different. A lot of
Oh,
fun for
yes.
Onna Lou. Oh, yes. New album, new child, a lot of things going on. So, again, welcome to 107 and to Winnipeg. Although you've been here for a couple years. And welcome back, Marco. We'll keep
Thank
an
you,
eye out on all
Michael.
the stuff
Yeah.
you guys are doing.
Yeah, thank you so much.
From our studios in downtown Winnipeg, you've been listening to 107 Live, Classic 107's Intimate Concert Series, the soundtrack for your life.